Once again, welcome to the Brooklyn Advisory Council Update Outreach. I'm Chris Greif, Christopher D. Greif, chair of this committee, which is used to be called Mini Resource Fair, but due to the coronavirus, we are update outreaching, giving you guys some great information that's coming up, something new, something special, and keep everyone refreshing, up to date, and how to keep your families busy. Agencies, parents, individuals, we all welcome, especially our special guest stars, as well as our elected officials. And I love everyone's chatting right now on the chat, which I'll be mentioning in just a second. Before I introduce our special guest stars, or should I say, but before I do that, let me introduce Deborah Greif, head chair of the Advisory Council of Brooklyn and statewide.
And member of the representing Brooklyn up in Albany, statewide, Families Court Services. I thank you everyone for coming, and I hope everyone gets a lot of great information this morning. I'm turning it back over to you, Christopher.
Thank you. And I know we have some Advisory Council ZEC board meetings. Advisory Council ZEC members are here. Welcome, including some parents. This one you're going to enjoy. So before we do that, I do have a little announcements that is important to everyone. But before we do that, housekeeping rules are so important. And I'm going to shrink my picture. Right now I see the young. Right now we remind everyone, please everyone, at this time, everyone should be on mute unless it's the speaker speaking. When I say speaker, means the guest speaker or the guest star, same thing, will be speaking. If you have a question, you can always do, like right now, some of you are putting in already in your openings or your questions, or saying good morning, which in a good way I'm going to say thank you, and especially one of our speakers is putting her email out, which is very good. Please make sure that you're on mute. If you have a question for the speaker, there are so many ways. One, you can put a chat on the question, which some of you guys are doing. Two, you can also, if you're on the computer, and I mentioned the computers first, you can use your keyboard with the ALT next to the base bar, letter Y, and your hand will be shown. Or go to your mantle participating on your bar, when it has the number 16 on it, click on it, look in the bottom left inside that screen, and you will see this hand. Now I'm going to remind everyone, this is the hand that also will be, I'm reminding you, yes, it's spinning because we're reminding you to please raise your hand. If you have something you want to put on the chat and you have a question for the speaker, for Vanessa Lockel, Reggie Barron, please make sure you please put it in during their speaking, when they're speaking. Once one speaker is done, we will let you guys, we let the questions and answers come in around that time. We are expecting a lot of people, and I'm going to tell you right now, we have more people than we usually have. So please, everyone, please make sure you stay on mute. Phone people who are on, it is very important to please listen to the instructions. On your phone thing, you have *6. *6 is to mute and unmute. *9 is to raise your hand. As I mentioned, this hand again, that's going to spin. And again, it's going to spin. And it will show me who is raising their hand. I will see it. So please do not get worried that someone else is maybe ahead of you. You have to have patience and the courtesy. We will get to everyone's questions. And I will remind everyone, this meeting is recorded for everyone to listen, to watch, and enjoy, and pass it out in case somebody missed it. So we're asking everyone to please make sure. Now, before I introduce the speakers, I'd like to remind everyone, due to the, as you know, February 16th is the 5th year anniversary to our website. Right now, our website is being updated and repairs and doing major updates because of the graphics and new stuff that is coming in. As you know, there's no more Flashpoint 8, so we are being updated. The website will be ready by February 16th. So please make sure, everyone, please, at this time, please do not try to use the website. It's going to tell you to please contact us by email, Facebook, and use our new Twitter account. The new Twitter account has a new security feature, and you can always type it in at Bfssac. So please make sure you do that. Yes, it is new, so that's why you'll see it spinning. And that is the Twitter account information. Now, as I mentioned, the website, February 16th will be our not just grand opening, but celebrating the 5th anniversary of our website as we got it on. It is going to be 5 years that we put this website on. This event will be, this special ceremony, aka grand opening, will be on February 16th, 2021 at 9:45 a.m. It will start at 10 a.m. This is not a meeting. I will remind you, this is not a meeting. This is a grand opening ceremony. So please join us.
It's being done virtually only because of COVID-19.
Mhm.
So I want everybody to understand that. So we hope everyone can be there to see it on February 16th.
And the code that you see on the Ring Central is the same one you're on right now. So don't worry if you miss it, you still will see it again. You have it already because you're on it. Reminding everyone, Children's Committee is next Wednesday, February 9th. I'm going to remind you, we may be getting an NYPD officer joining us to talk about get to know your neighborhood coordinator stuff. We should have an answer we'll have someone going to talk about the neighborhood of each area of your precinct that's in the 5 boroughs, including transit, housing, and much more. I know we're getting a lot of more people coming on at this time also, but we will get them on. The next joint meeting, and I'm going to remind everyone, all our joint meetings will be every 4th Wednesday. The next one is Wednesday, February 24th. Winnie will be giving an update about the budget, legislative stuff, and making sure everyone has all their information, update information. Winnie Schiff will be there, and she will be, and the meeting will start at 10 a.m. So we hope to see everyone there. Now to getting to the fun part of my parts, and I'm going to change screens at the same time also, and I see it is, and I know Vanessa is with us because she's also now on the screen, joining with me. Vanessa Laco, and some of you may say, she looks so familiar.
She is familiar.
Well, let me say it. Some of you might have the answer correctly. Yes, she used to be in Long Island Railroad's government relations, but in sad notes, which is going to be the 1-year anniversary that her and Ryan both left.
Cry.
Don't.
He's upset. He misses you.
We miss her, but now she's working somewhere even equal. So she didn't leave me. She came back. And every time I mention her name, I'm getting more people coming on this phone. I mean, this thing. So Vanessa's now working on a beautiful program. And I will say beautiful because I have seen it already. And she has a beautiful videos. And Vanessa Laco is going to explain all about the farms. Once she's done, then Reggie Barron is going to introduce about the updates of the reduced fare forms, which has been updated, and the update on the Omni card. So Vanessa is here. We'll be speaking first for a good 30 minutes, and then we'll get to questions, then Reggie, then questions for Reggie. So anyone, please enjoy this as I'm going to change this screen. And by the way, Vanessa, I don't see you anywhere in this farm.
Oh, I know. This isn't our farm. I will give you a better farm picture soon enough.
No, but it was a close enough shot because I said to myself, wait a minute, where's the tractor trailer when you have that vehicle? Now you really got to be careful in Suffolk County.
I know. You saw me in those pictures on my learning how to drive the tractor.
Yeah.
I actually have with me joining 2 other people from my team that may jump in at any time to talk, and that's Sarah and Vicky. And they're members of the actual Suffolk County Educational Farm. And I'll have them talk if they want at any time, but I'll quickly introduce myself and show you a little video of some of the work that we do with the accessibility community. So the first thing I wanted to say was I hope everybody is safe with this snow and that you guys are healthy as well. I know with COVID and everything, I haven't talked to you guys for so long. I miss everybody. But it really is, I hope to hear that everybody's doing well and that the weather isn't holding you guys back, which I'm sure it isn't. The other thing I wanted to say is that as much as I really genuinely loved my job at the Long Island Railroad, I love my new job here at Cornell Cooperative Extension, and I'm so excited to share it with you. So with that, I wanted to say, what is Cornell Cooperative Extension? You guys have probably been like hearing, well, Vanessa went from Long Island Railroad to Cornell Cooperative Extension. What's the difference? The great news is that Cornell Cooperative Extension is an organization that is about helping my region, helping the community in the areas that are around sustainability or making an area do well. So for the area of Long Island that I cover Suffolk County, which is further out east. We have 4 main departments that we look over and we cover. One department is agriculture. So for any of you who are gardeners, who have been growing tomatoes in your backyard or even on your windowsill, Deborah, you don't have a green thumb? Is that why you're shaking your head? No green thumbs over there?
No, for
No.
something else.
Okay.
We could never plant or do that because as long as my mother's like, we all have allergies.
Oh no! So no tomato allergies. Tomato
No, I
allergies.
can eat tomatoes. I can't grow stuff. Every time I try, someone starts sneezing at me.
Oh no! Who's that? Chris?
Nope.
No.
No, it's my brother.
Oh,
Just
okay.
be careful with that. Vanessa, you want to share your screen? This is a good time to share your screen.
Oh, okay. I wasn't going to share just yet. I was going to share when I did the video. But so I did want to say that we have, maybe I should share. Let's see. It says you cannot start screen sharing while the other participant is sharing.
I'm not on it.
You go on it. You do it.
Yeah.
He gave it to you.
Oh, hold on.
Sorry, but I'm not.
There you go.
Okay.
No, something was interfering. That's why I'm like going like that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You got it.
All right. So before we start the video, I just want to say that there are 4 departments. One is on agriculture, and it really helps people who are growing crops, like farmers that grow our broccoli, all the way to, like I said before, you and me, anybody who's interested in discovering about gardening and growing your own food. So we have a department that does that. We have another department that works with marine. So we have programs on helping people know the importance of keeping our waterways safe and restoring them and really caring about the environment. Then we have a program that's about community education, and it's all around being healthy and taking care of your mind, body, and spirit. So, for example, some of the classes that we have are, how to keep a positive perspective when you're down around COVID. Like being isolated has really brought you down. So those are some of the conversations that we would have around community education. We also, in community education, have SNAP education. So if any of the community is receiving SNAP benefits, we actually have free education on how to cook your foods, how to food shop in a healthy way, how to look at, and I know Chris had told me about allergies even before we talked about allergies for gardening. We talked about just food allergies and eating. So if you have a very strict diet, what are your healthy choices you can make? And so community education really houses a lot of that. And because we're affiliated with Cornell University, that's why we're called Cornell Cooperative Extension, we get really good advice. It comes from a school. So it's not just me giving you my best practices from how crazy my kids are driving me, but instead it's, about how scientists and educators have gathered information and brought it to us so that we can learn. And then the last section, which is my most fun section, that's the one that I brought our 2 guests, Vicki and Sarah. Vicki is the director of the farm and 4-H. So if any of you have heard of 4-H camps, those are camps for our young adults. And we do have a little bit bigger than babies, but for our young people on learning everything from camps to day camps around the area of farming and gardening. And we do have some 4-H on marine stuff, but more importantly, we have a farm. And this is what I think is the best place to see all of the stuff that we do, because it's an educational farm. So some of you may have gone to visit a farm and just seen, let's go pumpkin picking, or let's go apple picking. And you see a farm of apples, and that's what the farm is focused on, growing a crop and making it available for general consumption. And you guys get to see that when you go visit. When you come to visit our farm is about learning how to work with animals, learning how to set up your backyard to be a backyard that has a garden and a butterfly garden and maybe a composting section, just really kind of learning different ways of breaking out your property so that you can maybe grow chickens, and not grow chickens, but raise chickens. They do grow, but from chicks to big chickens, but raising them and raising goats. The animals that we have there are for other colleges and different programs to come and learn how to work and be comfortable around animals. And we're developing everything from mental health programs, like feeling good programs around working with animals and feeling better because of that therapy that you get, all the way to exploring just your interest in working at a farm and seeing what are some of the things that you would need to know to work at a farm. Specifically, I want to talk about Sarah's program. So I said there's a lot of programs that happen at the farm. Some of you may be very familiar with a program or an organization called Independent Group Home Living. They're an organization that really works with the community to provide job support, to provide all the resources that may be needed for the community with some disabilities that are still very active and functioning. So we have a lot of people that come to the farm and actually work for us. They work at the farm. So Sarah, I don't know if you want to say a couple of words in regards to your experience with IGHL before I show the film.
Sure. Thanks for inviting me, first of all. It's nice to meet everybody via screen. But yes, when I first started my position here at the farm, I really had no experience with the IGHL population. So every year is a wonderful learning experience. And I truly enjoy my job here, growing the plants and watching them smile and volunteer their services, along with watching them get paychecks. It's really awesome. So, but thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much, Sarah. Sarah has really supported this initiative, and I wish to talk to you guys as the community on how to expand some of these initiatives here. But let me show you what she was able to do for the holiday season with IGHL. And I'm gonna hopefully no problems and you guys can hear it. But
very confusing times.
Started from the
IGHL
beginning.
Day Have participants pushed forward.
Sorry, you guys.
Change is hard for us all, but I am so proud of their perseverance. Even during some very confusing times, my IGHL Day Have participants pushed forward. Change is hard for us all, but I am so proud of their perseverance. Check out how we ended 2020.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to share that with you. I hope you were able to see, oh, and I'll stop sharing. I hope you were able to see through that the dedication that not only Sarah, but the farm has to the community in supporting their development professionally, because these are like what you saw is them working. Not only were the IGHL team responsible for growing the poinsettias, they were also responsible for distributing them to those different stakeholders that you saw. So the churches in their community, the police department, even some of the members of the agricultural community got to get a special gift from them. So they have a job on the farm, and they actually go around the whole property and ensure that it's beautified. So it's a great initiative. But like I said to you, I want to do more. And that's really why I wanted to take Chris up on his offer to speak at this meeting, partly because not only am I, obviously, you know, we're out on Long Island, but we're a resource for you. We're a resource for your community to come out and visit. But in order to do that, I need to be as accessible as possible. And we have some long way to go on that. So with that, I have 3 asks of the community. The first question is if any of you, it's an open invitation, would be interested in coming to visit the farm. We are off of the LIE exit 67. We have the Long Island Railroad, that is the Yaphank stop, as well as we have a relationship with Hampton Jitney to try to coordinate an effort. I'm willing to work alongside any of those 3 commuting or 2 commuting opportunities, Long Island Railroad or Hampton Jitney, to try to facilitate a trip for Bfssac to come out, their members, and visit our farm. Now, the intention of this meeting is for you to highlight for us areas of accessibility concern. Obviously, we've got a long way to go. We're going to be honest with you about it. You know, the ADA law, you know, we have to abide by, but there are financial restrictions that have prohibited us from doing things maybe in the past, where now accessibility is a top priority since I've come on board. And for 2021, I wish for us to begin to start achieving some of these goals. In order to do that, though, I need the community itself to give me guidance. So I don't know what I don't know. And just like I did in the Long Island Railroad, where I would have you guys come out and say, Vanessa, this is horrendous. We can't do this. You know, or
like Edith Prentice.
And I did that regularly.
But no, most of the time you guys were so supportive and more a voice for the community and advocating for what you think would get more people to do or use our system. So that's what I want for the farm. So that's my first question. If anybody is interested in participating in a visit to the farm with the intention of giving us accessibility feedback, please contact Chris, because we will be coordinating a date on time based on how many people are interested. That's one. The second question I have is that we actually, and Vicki not only is the director of the farm, but Vicki is also the director of our diversity and inclusion team or committee. Inclusion accessibility is our top priority in the world of inclusivity. And so for us, I would love to have an expert from the community speak to our DEI group and to share with them, in essence, what is the 101 around accessibility? What's the starting point? Maybe even highlight for us a little bit about the law and why it is that it's so important, and how do we start to tackle accessibility in an area that needs that help? Like, where do we start? So I think that's the second ask. So if anybody is interested, and I know Chris has some great ideas already, but this is an open invitation to any of you. Yeah, and you are New York tough. But this is an open opportunity for anybody to weigh in on that. And then my last request is I would love for all of you to visit our website. That's why I kind of sent it over. One of the first things that is happening in March and April is we're getting a new website. So I want to start making sure before we get the new website, what are some of the accessibility things that we should automatically have? Vanessa, did you put this into place? Is it, you should format things this way. Have you looked at these resources so that I can get my team involved in identifying the resources and making them part of our new web design? So with that, I don't know if Sarah or Vicky, you have anything else to add, but I'd love to kind of turn it back over to you, Chris, and to see if there's any questions or.
Oh, we got questions already.
Deborah, you've been patient this whole time. Is that what all of this was? I saw a lot of this. Was you don't have to hold back with me, Deborah. What's going on? What do you guys?
Oh, yeah.
You knew it. Okay.
Say,
First, number one.
And Dolores will be next.
The team, your young adults that you have come over from their agency has been in existence longer than you guys have been working at the farm, and even more years than you can realize. They have been in existence for a very long time. But they do come out work in Nassau and Suffolk County. For the people who live in Nassau, they try to get the ones that are closer to the border of Suffolk. There is a replication they're at near the Queens and Nassau County. There's a New York City farm, and a lot of individuals do work there too. Now, what's the one thing? If you have people who have visual, I have been upstate to one of the agencies that serve the people who are visually impaired. They have ropes, and so that and Braille also written, or very big, large printed signs, so you know where you're going. If a person has hearing disability, you also have to make sure that you have flashing lights in places. Why? In case something happens and you have to get everybody out. I mean, it is a necessity. You must always have those strobe lights. Yes, I know people find it annoying, but when people, let me give you an example. Coney Island Hospital had a fire. I was on the main floor, thankfully, but I saw the strobe lights, I knew what that meant. That there was a fire and that they were going to shut and isolate. The other thing is for people with, whether they're developmental or have physical disabilities, make sure that you have, I'm enticing. I'm using my walker, and I want to be able to move my walker from building to building to be able to farm with it too. And because I refuse to fall down. At the last break, my balance is off. I'm not the only one. Also, you need to make sure that your bathrooms are truly accessible. If you do not have accessible bathrooms, that is one of the biggest no-nos in the American with Disabilities Act, because to discriminate and not let a person to be able to have the dignity to go in the bathroom and be able to, they use a very large or small motorized chair, that their chair can, if it's motorized, they can rotate themselves and they can back to a point where they can transfer themselves with, and we apologize for the background sound, that they can transfer themselves from their chair to the seat, if they're capable, or if their attendant goes into a system. They're in manual, the same thing for walkers, wide enough so that I can walk through without a lip. You need to make sure that there are no lips, which means it's like sometimes you walk through, there's like this inch from a door entrance. That is very annoying. If you can't afford a lot of things, there are mini ramps and their devices. Look, you did ask the Long Island Railroad. You should know, Vanessa, how that with Long Island Cares, they take it out so I can get across. So those are Those are
We
some,
do have some systems at the farm, so I do encourage you to know that some of the stuff that you've done, we do have in consideration, but that's really great. And if you know of a resource checklist that you have that you're just like, this is something that, you
well, I'll
know,
send it to you, but also, if you, can you do me a favor, take photos and just send them to me either through text, and I'll let you know too.
absolutely.
Just because I hear it, I have to see it too. So that's
Absolutely.
me.
Well, I'm hoping that you come to visit,
I read,
Deborah. That was and I understand about the snow, especially around mobility issues. So
Yeah.
I will ensure that when we make the invitation, it'll be a nice spring day. Okay.
okay,
Yes. And Vanessa, we have Dolores
Doris Khan.
Khan, which I know her hand is up, and I'm going to remind people, I don't forget, but want to make sure everyone has fair. Go ahead, Dolores.
Hi, Doris.
Oh,
Hi, Dolores.
good morning. Thank you, Vanessa, for that information about the farm. And I want to know, is the farm open now during COVID?
Yes.
You have people can come and visit during COVID within restrictions? Keeping
Yes.
social distancing,
To-
masks.
To
Yeah.
give you a little idea, the farm is 272 acres. So a lot of space. The majority of the area is outdoors. But we do have about 30 acres right in the center that is really the specific kind of meeting ground area. Once again, everything is outdoors. We do have some indoor locations for some specialty meetings if we need to. But so as Vicki put in the chat box, we're open daily from 9 to 3. I think there's only like very important holidays that we close, primarily because we have animals, and the animals are visible there, you know, when you go. Obviously, sometimes they go inside their structures to stay warm, but you can see them. They're there. So hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you're following CDC guidelines for indoors also. They have to wear a mask. And the other question I have, if we have families who want to visit individually, they want to come for a visit, so who would they contact?
I'll allow Vicki or Sarah to put the phone number.
We're an agency and we offer recreation activities to some of our families. We sponsor it. We get them there, we pay for it, admission, etc. So who would we contact for that?
We have Vicki she's put in the chat room, and it's V as in Vicki,
Yeah.
J, F as in farmer, 4 at cornell.edu. So that's
What's her title?
she's the director of the Suffolk County Farm and 4-H programs. So
Vicki, you can speak. Her thing is on.
Vicki,
Yeah, Vicki, I know Vicki was having phone problems. That's the only reason why I'm speaking for her.
Oh,
Vicki,
okay.
please talk away, Vicki.
Okay, thank you.
We are free to the public. So if families want to come and buy animal food, they come and sign in, and then it's $2 or $3 for animal feed. And then if you want to bring a group, then you would contact us. Otherwise, they can just come anytime. So if you wanted to organize, transportation and bring a big group, then you would want to let us know ahead of time so that we could, be ready for you. And if you wanted a guided tour or something like that, that would be something that we would ask for a nominal fee for. But otherwise, they're just open and free to wander around.
Okay, thank you.
Vanessa, I just want to make one point.
Hold on, she's on. I got you, Vanessa.
Okay, Vanessa, here.
Hold on. Vanessa, you gotta unmute yourself because you locked me.
I'm sorry, Deborah, before I pass it to you, I just want to say to Doris real quickly, Vicki also does tailored programs around camps, like the 4-H camp system. So to your group, Doris, if anybody wanted to do day camp, even if it's 1 or 2 days, or we can do a very tailored program, working most likely closely with Sarah around how to support your group on anything. Like you want to be somewhat of a farmer for the day, we can do a tailored type of approach for your group. In addition, like I said, when I want you guys to come visit, and Doris, absolutely, you can come visit with your team anytime.
Right.
But for the purposes of my accessibility audit or my accessibility review, I would like to bring in people to come kind of do the behind the scenes tour with me and really review things from that perspective. So if you had a team that was working on, advocating for accessibility, we would love to have them come out and be a part of that exercise as well. So obviously we would love to do programming around anything that you want, but I also need your help in giving us feedback on how to make us more accessible. So thank you so much, Doris. We're here for you if you need me. And I also gave you my email address if you need it. Okay, Deborah, it's all you.
Actually,
Let one person go ahead.
no, Vanessa. Let me get to. There was a person from PHP had a question, and I'm reading. It was on the chat, so I have to move up a little bit because everyone is writing everything. Somebody I know that was from PHP. I know Nick, you're still there. I see your face, and your background.
I didn't have a question. I just posted comments and information.
What's the comment you were saying?
I was saying that I love what you do, with the whole farm and everything like that, with the environment and sustainability and everything. I'm a bit of a gardener myself, but I used to work at AHRC Nassau, and they have a greenhouse program there. That's very nice. And they're working on something else. I don't work there anymore, so I'm not up to date with that. But they have some sort of Wheatley Roads farm program and horses and some whole big project, and that's something else. But they do have a greenhouse, and it's actually open to the public and stuff, and some of the individuals work there. So that's it.
No, and I love that feedback, Nick, because actually Vicki and I have taken tours of other facilities to give inspiration to some of the work that we're doing or just to expand our own efforts. So I love the idea of visiting a Nassau facility that has some very similar work to what we want to do. So thank you, Nick, for that contribution.
Okay, Vanessa, now it's my turn.
Yes.
Okay, in my apartment, and a lot of us live in apartments, and I may have a balcony, but I don't have a backyard, so one, I can't have chickens as a pet or anything else, and I can't have goats either, even though I love both of them. So, and also, the problem is, my landlord would evict me probably if I had one of those pets.
Yes.
So, I just want you to know why some of the times, like some of us won't take those trainings, not because we don't want to, but we can't have them. What's the use?
No, absolutely. And so to that point, I did want to tell you, we have a lot of information coming from some of our other departments. So when I was talking about community education, I would love if we had a component to support parents that are dealing with supporting their children in accessibility issues, or, and really kind of expanding the efforts on what are the supports that we have around education and nutrition for the community. So I do have more information about those programs and can send those over to you. Like I said, SNAP Ed, if you're qualifying at all for SNAP education, we have a ton of free education.
All right, well, to add food allergies in there, please.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And we do have, I spoke to Chris about that. He always thinks about you, Deborah. So don't you dare forget.
Yes, except one thing. Tell her.
For the record, I didn't just worry about her. I have to worry about families with people with disability. As a former athlete, Congress Special Olympics, who have some people here who did it already, knows that keeping ourselves healthy in other ways of not just allergy-free, asthma-free, and any chemical-free, and any other special diet that person has to eat.
Chris has just the same amount of allergies as I do.
But Matthew from HRC, who's here, Matthew, here.
Hi, dear.
Mr. Purple.
I love that.
Hey, Chris.
I love your flowers. They're beautiful.
This comes from and both of you guys. For Vicky. Vicky just, Vicky, I know she's right here, wrote also HRC and DDI have done programs with us regularly. I already figured HRC because HRC is like the old cartoon. Samuel Fair is everywhere. Like HRC is everywhere. So we definitely know that HRC, and I know Matthew and his group, which we do want to thank him very much because he also does similar. You guys had a program about special diet stuff when people are allergic. Am I correct, sir?
I was in no way involved with that, but it did exist. Yeah.
Yes. Well, it still exists. You're still HRC, so whatever is in.
Yeah, probably because when I went to a couple of the events and they tried to give me, I said, I can't eat this, I can't eat that.
Yeah.
Why don't you recognize people with food and allergies and sensitivities? And they were like very mortified.
Yeah.
Sorry
Angela
about that.
Blades, do you have a question? Angela Blades?
I don't have any questions.
No questions? Okay, just making sure because I thought I saw your hand was up.
Just one more thing I wanted to add while we're looking for people's questions. I am more than open to doing a tailored program or project with the community that you guys, if there are any of your members that are like, we'd love to do a farm thing, or, let's bring back something we used to do. Or, you know what, I never thought of the farm. Let's get out there and figure out what we're supposed to be doing. Just remember right now, as we're slowly losing our minds or have lost them already because of the tons of things that we're enduring, including this snowstorm. If a lot of people are seeing going out east on Long Island as an escape, an opportunity to just kind of see something different. In addition, like I said, we're working with different groups to think about mental health programs with our animals. And I don't even like the word mental health too much, but this idea of—
I agree. I don't like it either.
Right. It's like—
Up to a point.
But I mean, listen, we can go into that conversation for years, but this idea of really supporting our minds, and there is something very therapeutic about being around animals. So programs like Palomine and other initiatives that you may have heard that exist out there where, our community works with animals in a therapeutic manner, that's very common. We're not at that level where some of our other partners may be, but we're more than open to working with you guys on discovering that. So with that, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for all of your time and listening to us. I really am, like I said, we have those 3 asks. So I'm going to check in with Chris.
Vanessa, you have one more person has a question, and it's Reggie. Do you have a question about? Go ahead, Reg, because you can.
Hi, Vanessa. Out further west, I'm involved with Troop 24, so I may involve them with that. There is a working farm in Malvern, but part of the Boy Scouts merit badge also is to work with people with disabilities and things like that. So I'm semi-retired from them, but I'm still a leader involved with them. And so I'm going to reach out to the Scoutmaster and have them contact you because they'd love to make a trip out there. Yeah.
Reginald, thank you so much. That would be so great. And this is exactly why I do all these meetings, because this cross collaboration that's possible. You're my fellow speaker today, and yet I didn't think that you would be talking about your troop. But that's what comes, and that's what comes out of these kind of conversations. So I love it. And to everybody involved, if there's any, we do a lot of work with Boy Scouts and Eagle Scouts. And sometimes we have them do some of their, I guess, medals or badges. They can do work with us. Like we can do a creative project for them that day. They can help us build something, or they can help us paint something.
Right.
And if it's specific around accessibility, we can provide an accessibility based project for them to work on, so that it's like win on win on win on win, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So I love this opportunity to work together, and this is an open call for everybody. So Reginald, feel free to reach out to me specifically, and we'd love to get something started.
Okay, I have your information, so I will follow up with you. Okay. Thank you.
Did anyone else have any questions? Because I thought I heard my dinner bell raising your hand thing. Senator, do you have any questions? You're very quiet up there, because I know you have a ton of individuals up there that always have nothing else to do up there.
Actually, I'm taking a lot of notes to present
Good.
to the other programs.
Oh, yay.
See, Vanessa?
And another thing, I didn't mention this, but you inspired me. If we are having programs in different languages, if we're needing to expand to different communities that you're feeling like, well, we really don't have something like what you're talking about in this community, but I'd love the opportunity to try to see what we can do, count on us, okay? So we are definitely expanding our languages. We're expanding, when we talk about diversity and inclusion, it's everything. Especially obviously accessibility, but we're open to all communities. So definitely reach out to us with some of those questions.
Sarah, from your staff, Vanessa, you want to say a few words?
Oh, I think she had to jump off. Sarah, are you still
no,
on?
I'm right here. Yeah, I just
She didn't leave. I can see her.
So much.
This is good.
Thank you very much. And I put my email if anyone has any questions, and I would love to work with any of you or Vanessa or Vicky to get you guys out here and get some opinions. So thank you very much.
And just to let everyone know, if you do travel on trains, I'm just going to tell you, because I did study your area, but the Montana branch runs more frequently than the Greenpoint train, because that's like if you miss that train, it's like, as Victor, as a comedy guy says, you blew it. So that's something that has to be done also. And I know Vanessa and I will be working on that. And as well as Matthew from HRC can also work on that idea. You have anything you want to add, Matthew?
Well, I just wanted to say, I won't be following up with you guys anytime soon, because obviously it's going to be some time before it's safe for groups of folks to travel. I'm so like some of the timing is a little unfortunate, but I really appreciate what you're doing. I actually spent the previous couple of years before I came to AHRC living on an organic farm, so it's close to home for me, and I think what you're doing is super cool.
Absolutely. And I want to encourage that we are doing some visual programming and virtual programming. So there may be opportunities where we can try to see what we can do in the world of virtual. I've seen people even do tours with their phones and just kind of do that kind of concept and give people some idea of what's happening. So I don't want us to hold back on a possible collaboration because we're waiting for the perfect time to meet in person. So I open that door to you. If there's any other opportunities that you see, don't ever hesitate, because I would love to try to support in any which way possible.
And speaking of that, Vanessa and your staff, do not leave the screen, because we have a little update for your information that's going to help you, and well as Matthew.
Okay.
And the other Matthew. And
I do know that Sarah had to run off, so I apologize.
Oh, no, that's okay. But the main woman we need is the one who's putting her hands on her cheeks, Vanessa.
Okay, I'm here.
Yes.
We know you're here. I'm watching you.
We're watching.
I watched you the whole time.
Yes, we're watching every step, but not the other thing. Now, I want, first of all, Vanessa's not leaving anyone, so if you have an idea in your light bulb, have a question for her, you can always put her in the comment. And she's not leaving yet, because Vanessa has we have something for them also that's going to combine with Reggie.
Oh, what do you got?
Yes, so I'm going to mute you so I don't have echoes. Reggie, can you unmute yourself? And I'm going to share, I'm going to share my screen, because as you may know, and this is, I'm glad Matthew is on because Matthew is one of the other groups that actually, and I'm going to say HRC Matthew, with his self-advocacy group. No, I'm dead serious because this is from Sarah Feinberg. We still need to continue advocating and make sure that the 30-day pass, the 7-day pass, and the flex reduced fare must stay. And so far, it is looking good. But right now, with the Omni coming in, it is going to help increase ridership on the Long Island Railroad, which it does relate to the farms, Metro North heading up to all those up to the boondocks, and as well as on New York City ferries and much more surprises. So Reggie, I'm going to put on your shared screen on because I have the website on.
Okay.
And you can tell me what you want me to click on. Reggie Barron is not just reduced fare Metro card.
Okay, well, did we want to start with the reduced fare in terms of the new applications?
Yes, I'm going to put that on.
Okay.
I
You want me to share my screen?
I got it.
Okay.
I had it all ready in case your system went down. I had a backup.
Okay. You let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, just take a second, but let me introduce you.
Okay.
And we'll do this after, but let me also introduce Reggie Barron. Some of you may know him for, as Reggie was a little boy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You know, I gotta have a little good
He always
smile.
has to have his fun.
Have a little fun, but have a little smile. Reggie is also going to be discussing a little bit of the future Omni reduced fare as well, and the new application that has been updated thanks to all our advocacy groups, and Reggie, who is also as a really good supporter of New York MTA, because if I say MTA, that's everything. So I am going to scroll down to the accessibility page, which thank God we can all finally see it, which is a new website. Reggie's going to explain about the new application. And let me also let everyone know, when Omni comes into Suffolk and Nassau, this will be joining in with the buses in Suffolk and Nice Bus. So this Omni card will be working. Go ahead, Reg.
Okay. Well, you have the controls, so let's see. Here's a reduced fare Metro card. Well, first of all, good morning, everyone, and Vanessa. Wonderful presentation. I can't wait to get to the farm. It really two things near and dear to my heart, to actually have the children come out and be participants, working with people with disabilities, and also I have a composter in the backyard and a rain barrel, so I'm trying to be my own little farmer back out west here. I'm in West Hempstead, so. So now I will, I'm the director of mobile sales. Mobile sales is the outreach team for the Metro card, presently the reduced fare Metro card, for those who are senior citizens 65 and older, and for those qualifying with disabilities. There's Medicare disability and other forms of disability. And the application, you're entitled to reduced fare, which is half the fare, $1.35 as opposed to $2.75. There is an application process, and the applications have just gone through a revision. Just to make note, the notes that the notarization section has been removed on all applications. So now the ID is required in addition to other forms of documentation.
What page am I going, Reg?
So right here on page 1, and this is the people with disability application. You'll notice that you can scroll down towards the bottom. Right in this section here, the Social Security number has been removed. The Medicare beneficiary MBI number has been removed. And also the gender specification has been removed from this application. So this is now the new format for the application. They have also included the email section, as this is a sign of the times where with technology. This is in the event that MTA would like to send information and have more customer engagement. They can send information via email to customers. It is optional, but the email is there included for future purposes. So any questions with page 1? That is just page 1. Chris, you could go to page 2, please.
That's what I'm doing. Going slow.
Okay. On page 2, you'll notice in this top section, Chris, just keep your arrow right there, right there. These two items have been included in, so it's a cognitive disability and other physical disabilities have been included. The changes have been, they've removed loss of both hands and intellectual disability. So with the advocacy, as Chris has said, and working with the MTA, trying to make this, it is pretty comprehensive, this application. It's already 8 pages long, but I think they've, you know, tailored it a little more so that it can encompass a lot more so that people can find the information that they need on this application here. Again, photo ID would be any federal or state identification that should be included with the application when submitting, because the notarization has been waived. Now, it says if you receive an individual has, what page am I on, Chris? So we can move on to page number 3, please.
Section 1.
Section 1. Very good. This is the affirmation section. Please ensure that this affirmation section is completed, because then if there isn't the signature of the applicant or personal representative, it will be deemed incomplete and the application will be returned. As you note, customers who use service animals or mobility devices receive a reduced fare MetroCard that activates the auto gate. The auto gate is for the customers that use the subway, as rather than going to the turnstile, they can actually go through the entry-exit gate by tapping by the device, and the exit gate will open. So before, that wasn't clearly indicated on the previous application, and the applicants or customers will receive a card and say, well, what is this auto gate? They didn't realize how to utilize that. Okay, and if you scroll down a little more, if the application is being completed by a personal representative, that is where the information will be completed at the
Excuse me,
bottom.
Reggie, I'm sorry to interrupt, but somebody's asking me, what is an auto gate? One.
Okay,
You mentioned subway, but you need to be a little more.
I'll repeat. Auto gate for customers using either a service animal or an ambulatory assistive device. They will not go through the turnstile. What they would do, there is a big emergency exit gate. Right next to it, there's a device that allows you now to either dip your MetroCard, but in the future, you will tap your Omni card. We'll get to that. It activates the gate. It opens the gate, and the customer can enter by paying the fare that way, as opposed to going to the turnstile, because it would be prohibitive. An auto gate is basically, it opens the entry-exit gate, the emergency gate. Does that clear? That does explain it.
Yeah. If anyone has additional question about that, Reggie will explain it. We'll explain it a little later, but
Yeah.
you should move on.
Okay. Again, on that page, personal representative, if they're completing the application, they'll complete the bottom portion indicating their relationship and sign appropriately on that page. Okay, and they will provide their identification since they're applying, providing that assistance as well. So in this case, it would be two identifications to be supplied for the applicant and the personal representative. Okay, you can go to the next page, Chris, please.
Section 1, customer information.
Yes. So in Section 1, if you're a Medicare recipient, you would actually stop at the first box there. I am a Medicare recipient for any reason, so you'll provide a copy of your Medicare card and a photo identification, and the application is completed at that point for those who receive that benefit. Continuing on, the next box If you receive supplemental security income and with a diagnosis of serious mental illness, you'll check off this section and then scroll down, Chris. You'll indicate your healthcare provider information, name, address, telephone, and then the signature of the applicant or personal representative will go there, and that is providing the authorization to contact the healthcare provider there. But here in this section, you'll notice that the Social Security number is required, and this is page 4. Reason for that, the Social Security number and the name is sent to Social Security Administration for verification, and then when the verification is affirmed, the card is produced and sent to the applicant. Now, this is added on the bottom of the page right here. It says, I am an individual with one or more of the following disabilities. And again, listening to, going through the application process, listening to the advocates, you could qualify and have Social Security supplemental income for other instances, and the disability may not be the primary one, and that would cause delay in the application. So what happens is here they've indicated other areas for people to include in the application. Okay, Chris, we can move on, please, down to the next page. For anyone not qualifying under the previous 2 conditions that I've explained, then there's the other forms of visual, hearing, ambulatory. I think let's go down a little more, Chris.
Sorry.
Cognitive disability and other physical disability. So on this page 5, this is where any state licensed healthcare provider will provide their information at the top of the page, indicate the diagnosis, and then they will also provide the durations, whether it's permanent or temporary, and then they'll sign the bottom of page 5. All this information is also on, this is actually the MTA webpage that Chris is talking about. So these applications are already there. They've been in effect since January 28th. They just recently were updated. So again, this is page 5 of, I'm sorry?
I said last week.
Yes, so this is the page 5 of the people with disability application for the healthcare provider. And Chris, on page 6, please.
Here you go.
Page 6 is again the authorization to disclose my healthcare information. Again, the physician certifier's information is included under number 7. And then scrolling down, Chris, signature of applicant or personal representative would be right there, allowing MTA to contact the healthcare provider. And if you scroll down a little more, if a personal representative is completing, they'll indicate their information there and sign appropriately. And so basically that would be the completion of the application. One more addition would be, Chris, page 7. Currently, this is prior to the Omni program. You can actually set up an account, to pay via credit, debit on your Metro card. So this is the Easy Pay option. It's just a payment option. It is optional. So, but you will set up an account via credit or debit. You'll start at $10, and it's on a 30-day billing cycle. So as you ride about 7 rides, when it gets close to $10, it'll replenish again at $10. For those who are motor vehiclists, and it's similar to the Easy Pass, but it's based on usage. So if you go over that $10 threshold, or you're an active user, the balance threshold, the replenishment amount may increase. That the good thing is it will not go past the 30-day amount, the 30-day unlimited amount. So if you ride more than the 30-day unlimited amount, every ride in addition to that will be free. Okay, so it's an account base, and in the future, when Omni comes, and I'll go to that next, it will be the way of paying for some who choose to do it that way. I will take the questions about the application.
Let me check. Anyone have a question for Reggie on the reduced fare form?
This.
Debbie has a question.
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay. Reggie, 3 Stone Street is not open, or is it open by appointment?
Okay, good question. On the MTA webpage, you'll see on the accessibility page, and for reduced fare, there's a tab for you to make an appointment. Let's see.
I have it here, Reg.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah.
Second question added into that.
Yes,
Or
please.
they say, okay, I come in and they have to fix my MetroCard and they give me a 10.
Yes.
Can they put money on it there?
No, they cannot. They'll take in your damage card and provide you a temporary, but there is a MetroCard vending machine
inside
in 3 Stone Street, or the Bowling Green station is
Where is the
accessible.
vending machine? Where is the vending machine, please?
Yeah, when you first
The last
enter,
time when did
when
they
you
put
enter,
it in?
when you enter the service center, it's going
Yes.
to be to your left.
When did they
Opposite
put that in?
Oh, maybe a couple years ago.
Because the last time I went before COVID, there was nothing, and they were sending all of us downstairs. No, we're not blaming you, but they were sending all of us downstairs, and the sad part was the elevator was down.
I have to say, they did listen to the customers and said, okay, we should put a vending, at least a vending machine there. So for those who have credit or debit, that's how you can actually add value to your card. For all others who are using cash, they would have to go to the station.
All right, well, please tell them also that I know about until Omni comes in, we need to set up some kind of form because not everybody has debit cards. Okay?
Okay. And notation, I know we're in the pandemic time, so please wear your masks. And in the station, there's still no transactions at the booth being conducted at the booth or at the mobile sales vehicles, cash transactions. So people are directed towards the vending machine to do their cash transactions. Otherwise, credit and debits accepted at the vending machines.
Reggie, since I'm on the website, you do have stations that people can transfer their, say if someone gets a new card in the mail,
Correct.
We all should know that at stations, like for example in Brooklyn, Atlantic Avenue, Kings Highway, now when I say Atlantic, I'm going to say on the same area is where the Long Island Railroad and the Manhattan Bound 2 and 3.
There is a listing if you want to show.
That's what I'm trying to do right now, but I'm stuck in that position.
Okay, if you go down to the mobile sales or the mobile sales schedule, it'll show you on top. Here, that right there.
This one?
Yes, click there. Okay, we'll scroll down. These are the stations. At these stations and at the mobile sales vehicles, and the schedule will be further down the page, you can transfer any expired card balances from your reduced fare or full fare. So if you have an expired MetroCard, you can come to these stations and also the mobile sales vehicles, and you could transfer your balances. Yes.
And these are the stations. So if anyone's in Staten Island, you got to go to St. George,
right?
Terminal, which is that's where you can do it. Because technically, you think about it, the only place you have to pay is St. George at this time, so it's a good place to do that. You have all in Queens, you have some in Manhattan, some in Bronx, and Brooklyn, and Crown Heights on the 3 and 4, and I mentioned the 2 and 3 on the Atlantic, on the 2 and 3 near the northbound 2 and 3 line, which also meets the Long Island Railroad.
So the thing is, if Chris, is there a listing of all accessible stations? the reason why I'm going to point that out is that now
yeah, go ahead.
no, the reason why I'm going to point that out, if you visit, everything's being directed towards the MTA webpage because there aren't any cash transactions happening at the booth or the mobile sales vehicles, you know. So now the stations are being more and more accessible. That's the vending machines could be accessed there so that you can do the cash transactions. For those who don't use credit card debit, okay? I just
Rich,
wanted to point that out.
Yeah, Rich, just to add a bonus, all these stations here are ADA accessible.
Right.
Yankee Stadium, 180th, Kings Highway, Atlantic. Well, we all know Atlantic Avenue is ADA accessible because on why they choose Atlantic on the 2 and 3 because there are 2 elevators go to the street level from there.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to tie that in because there is still a large population that still uses cash and not credit card debit. So I just want to make sure that they're getting the services. And if you scroll down a little more, Chris, so the mobile sales vehicles, again, designed especially for the reduced fare population. We help with application assistance, any kind of MetroCard customer service assistance if the card stops working and it needs to be replaced. And you see, we do have a special person that that has visited us at the van.
Yeah, I'll admit that's me. Thank you. You made me look good. Thank you so much. I'm glad to do it for you anytime.
And actually, that's Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn.
Yeah,
we cannot wait to be full service. We will also, right now we're promoting the reduced fare. In the future, we're going to be promoting the Omni payment, Omni card, which is going to be a new form of payment or new form of transportation card benefits. So I will explain that in a few. But if you go down, Chris, the schedule is broken up by borough, and we are, because of the pandemic, we are, you know, we've experienced an abbreviated schedule, so it's not as comprehensive as it used to be. But this is our schedule currently, and it's up to date. So if you could, you know, spread the word, this is where we will be able to assist for any applications, customer service, or transfer of any card balances. Okay. I'm sure the schedule will go through a revision when the Omni and everything improves. But Chris, if you want to go to the Omni page.
That's what I'm going to do. Dolores, I know you had a question. We're
Yes,
going to
please.
hold on to the question till we get to the Omni question also. So we're going to, I see your hand. You will be the next person speaking after Reggie finishes.
Okay.
Just want to make it clear. Go ahead, Reg.
Yes, so this is the Omni page. So you see at omni.info. It is going to be the new replacement of the MetroCard in 2023. So mid-year, they're proposing there's going to be a pilot. You'll hear more about it. And currently, this system, as if you see it here, it's available on all buses and it's available at all subway stations. How you can utilize it now, you can either use, if you have a digital wallet, which is, you know, in your phone. If you have a credit card with this symbol here that you see on the left of the screen, it looks like a little, you know, radio signal type thing, annunciation. If you have that on your credit card at the present, or you have a cell phone with a form of payment stored inside, if you have a Fitbit, which is a wearable Samsung watch or Apple watch, you can actually use the Omni program right now. And it includes transfers between bus and subway, subway and bus.
Only those two at this time.
Right. And the way to activate that, you'll go into the Omni this web page, and you will actually, you know, register an account by providing that form of payment that you'd like to use. It could be credit card, debit, or prepaid card, and or a bank card, as you see there in the screen here. And you can, as you go to the turnstiles and devices on the buses, you just hold it close by whichever device that you're using, and then you'll pay your fare.
Excuse me, but that's right now, if you pay with that, you're being charged $2.75, am I correct? Because they didn't put in for the half fare yet.
Correct.
When
That's
everybody know, and how much is the express bus fare? I'm asking because people emailed me.
yeah, it's the express bus 675.
You're not allowed to use money,
Yes,
cash.
yes, we
Right. Yes. Right now, the reduced fare is not available at the present because it's still in its developmental stages and it's not implemented to its full capacity yet. The first availability, again, they're projecting mid-year, somewhere, don't hold me to the date, but somewhere in July time, they will have
spring
the
of
pilot.
2021.
Right, of July of 2021, they'll have a pilot where they'll offer the reduced fare testing capabilities and roll that out. So be prepared for that. And but right now, if you do utilize the Omni payment option, it will be at the $2.75 full fare. But you will have the full benefit of the transfers between the different forms of service, being bus to subway, subway to bus, and bus to bus.
And much
Okay.
more.
Now, so now Omni supports full fare pay-per-ride options now. It includes the free transfers. Additional fare options will be available during the future phases of the rollout, including reduced fare, and the students' fare, special programs, and more. Now, it says, do you need to create an Omni account to use Omni? Creating an Omni account is not required, but however, there are many benefits available by registering for an Omni account. For example, you can access a secure personalized dashboard where you can view up to 90 days of your trips, which will actually be increased to 12 months. Without an Omni account, you are limited to viewing only 7 days of your trips and charges. So you can go to omni.info to register your accounts. Again, the benefits of the Omni account, it gives you that you can manage your notifications. You can ask questions to the Omni customer service representative. And in the future, enhancements and new features will continue to be added and to the Omni over time, and will provide even much more benefits to customers. Omni accounts. So with the account, it's not required, but there's you'll experience a lot of more engagement between the MTA and the account holder. And Chris, if you go to the bottom of the Omni page, please, the home page.
I am in the home. You mean the bottom?
Very bottom, please. The bar. I just want to just point out one thing.
This?
Yes, keep going. Okay, on the left here, at the very bottom says trip history. Trip history.
Oh,
For those who do not have an Omni account, please click on that, Chris.
That's what I'm doing right
Okay, if you do not have an Omni account, this is where you'll get your 7 days of trip history. If you have an Omni account, you'll go through the registration process up top. You don't have to do that because it's just 4 steps, but it's very easy to register. But if you don't want to register, you can always put your card number in, the month and expiration date, and it'll give you 7 days worth of information. Okay? It's not clearly written anywhere that you could find this information, and I don't imagine everybody would want to call the 511 or the 718-330-1234 to get the 7 days. But for those who are using the computer and the internet, this is where you'll find that information for the 7-day trip history. Okay. So Omni is going to be rolling out relatively soon. We're going to have, we're preparing for our end of the promotional campaign. please visit this omni.info page as they have the little timeline here, as you see. We're in 2021, and mid-year is when our first impact to the reduced fare will come with our test, somewhere in July. And we're looking forward to being of service to everyone. And you'll see us out on I will be out of the office day, but I'm hoping also that all of this clears up so that we can go back to our outreach programs where we would come and visit different locations and give presentations. But right now, my team is only concentrating on, as you saw the schedule for the mobile sales, the vehicle sites, and providing services through there. We used to provide our services in two manners. We used to do the vehicle operation and also go to different organizations, give representative outreach presentations. But right now, because of the pandemic, we're limiting the activities. So I'm open for questions now.
Yeah, before
please.
you do your questions, Reggie, we have this video here. You want me to click on that?
Yeah, that'll go quickly. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, because some of us, I know, must be, let me, first of all, thank you. And I'm going to blow it up too, so give me a second.
Yes. This will give a nice little overview of what the Omni program is about.
Video, so
yes.
What time is it? It's Omni Education time. Omni is the new way to pay your subway and bus rides. And everything you need to use it right now is probably in your pocket. And I'll tell you, once you try it, you'll never go back. If you have a bank card with this symbol, just tap the card flat on the Omni meter. When the screen
that's not me.
says go, you're good. It's that simple. If you have a smartphone or a wearable, you'll need to set up a digital lock if you don't already have one on the device. Every device is different, so check with the manufacturer for instructions. Or just ask a young person to help you figure it out. Once your digital wallet is set up, just tap the device on the Omni reader. Once you get the go screen, it's Omni time. And that's how you use Omni. For more information, please check out our website. And don't forget to wear your mask.
Thank you, Chris.
Just to apologize, everyone. Omni, Reggie, just to add in the share. They've been having some difficulties because I just got an email.
Yeah, it seems like it's buffering. It's buffering.
Yeah, it's buffering because I think it's supposed to buffer because in case people are not sure. But let's start with Dolores. I know she had a question.
Yes, please.
Dolores, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to, hi.
Hi.
For that presentation. I just want to make sure I understand. Is Omni live in all stations right now or just a few? And when will it be live in all stations? And
It's
2023 right now, it's just rolling over just a little bit at certain sites.
As of December 2020, it was live in all stations and all buses. Yes.
Oh, it was.
Yes.
Okay. So when is the cutoff point where we won't be able to use our old Metro card? Like, are they going to take that away totally and only on?
When I turn 40.
2023. They're running the system parallel, so this way there isn't any interruption, and it also gives a nice gradual introduction period.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But Dolores, just to let you know, it is available now for employees because I'm glad you're there. Some of you guys have a special credit card that employees, you used to use your monthly. I think Matthew and I know some other people asked me this question. You can, if you're using because you have reduced fare, that's a different. But some employees, like Citi has those credit cards, can actually energize it onto the Google if they have the regular phone like Google Play, the Google Wallet. You can activate it there, and then once you activate, you want to put only the cash, how much you're going to put in. Remember, monthly is not available, weekly is not available at this time, and reduced fare is not available at this time.
You're talking about the transit benefit cards.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, just check with the individual transit benefit carrier to see.
Yeah.
And you can set it up in a digital wallet. That's what you're asking, yes.
Yeah. And because we already have some people doing it, and they are enjoying it right now because they said until they see the real McCoy Omni card, then they can't wait to do the monthly, because some people say it's easier and easy to travel and easy to transfer quicker.
Okay.
So we know that. Does anyone has a question? Let me look at my list. Let me check with Audrey Peterson. Do you have a question? Because you're very quiet. Oh, that was nice. Audrey, I got you, Audrey. Go ahead. Audrey, you can speak. Go ahead. Just muted yourself. Go ahead, Audrey.
I think they answered my question. The reduced fare,
Yes.
Accessoride. Will you be able to use Accessoride in conjunction with the Omni?
That is going to come as well. The purpose of the Omni is that you're going to be able to use the term multimodal. You're going to be able to go through all the services, and it's going to be unified. So you can have this one card and travel on bus, subway, Long Island Railroad, Metro North. As Chris indicated, I believe Nassau County, Suffolk County. It's
Yes.
going to be actually the regional card that they've always been trying to, accomplish. So as paratransit will also be part of that whole big project.
And don't forget, New York City Ferries will also be joining with us as well, because that'll be easier. So instead of they're trying to use something similar, but they're having problems, and they already agreed they're going to join with us, as Al had mentioned this at one of the meetings.
Excuse me, I just want to clarify. We're not talking about the Staten Island ferry. That is free.
The New York City
Am
Ferry.
I right, Reggie?
Yes, it is. So yes, paratransit will be incorporated in this, and it's being developed as we speak.
Mm-hmm. Great. Any other questions, Audrey?
What was the other question I had? Just that quick. How would this meeting be in format where we could look it over? Because I'm on the phone option for the meeting. I'm not able to follow the meeting to view it.
Yes, Audrey, this will be, as I said earlier, maybe everyone didn't hear me. This is recorded today, and you will get a chance to see it. And I remind you that yes, this is all meetings. I will not say not all, but some meetings are recorded because they're added to a recording reports, so it's easier for people. They can watch it, learn it, and you will see this. As again, it is available on omni.info, as well as the regular mta.info, which is my MTA. All that information is there. The video will be there. So this should help you very much.
Okay.
On that. Okay, let me check that. Does anyone else have a question about the reduced fare Omni? I know I had some people wrote stuff. So Reggie, you there still?
Yes, what I'm going to do is I'm just putting my contact information on the chat. I'm going to put it in the chat so that everyone could have it.
Okay. Reggie, there was a question that was here earlier, but I think part of Audrey Peterson's question was actually very good also because it was mentioned. And I know you just put your information there. Matthew from HRC, I know your group had a question. Are you still there? It's hard to tell if he's there or not, so I gotta look. Oh, there he is. Matthew, you still there?
Hey, sorry, no, I just had a call.
Okay. Go ahead.
I've had several people who were curious about when, and I apologize if you answered this early.
No, go ahead. Say it.
But when and what the rollout would be like for Omni within the Accessoride fleet?
For the Accessoride, okay. Well, as it's in development right now, I'm not sure what let's look at the timeline maybe, but I don't have a definitive date when the paratransit portion of it is, but in terms of the reduced fare, I could answer is mid-year of July sometime, we're going to be piloting the reduced fare portion to test that out. But paratransit, when we get more information on that, we'll relay that to you, or we'll relay it to Chris, and he can disseminate it to the group.
We can always trust Chris for that.
Yeah.
Thank you. To answer that question, Matthew, because Al did mention it on the press conferences, where he's saying at this time, when reduced fare is activated, we don't know if reduced fare is going to be joined with Accessoride link. That's a question mark that's being worked on as we speak today. Yeah. Because if it is, it will be one card, because this has been mentioned at other meetings. Reggie, you were with me at the last ACT meeting when I mentioned it.
Right.
I mentioned something that to Al, and I did say this to Al as well, that if you're going to do reduced fare, make sure it's linked to the Accessoride. But the question is, the problem is, Accessoride is $275. When you get on a bus and a subway, it's half fare. Like Long Island Railroad, wherever you're going from that zone, it's half of the price. So
that portion I can answer is that the card, depending on the qualifications a person will have, they could have multiple qualifications. They could be reduced fare and paratransit. They'll have that one card that will work across all modes.
Yeah.
But when, I couldn't answer the question about when the paratransit will come out, but I can, since I'm concentrating on the reduced fare side, I can let you know roughly around July is when our first benchmark or our first initiative will be for the reduced fare. Will be about mid-year 2021, July 2021. Okay, but as we develop it and as it comes the more information comes out, we'll disseminate it to the team.
Reggie, just to add one thing, and Matthew, this is for you as well and everyone, and let's make it very clear. You've been hearing about there is fair fares, correct, everyone?
Correct.
Thank you. Just make it clear, Reggie, back me up on this as well. Fair fares MTA has nothing to do with fair fares. That's including the Accessoride as well. That if you have a problem because you have proof that you got now fair fare for a person with disability, you need to call 311.
Correct.
That's a 311 problem. That's a New York City problem. But once you get that fair fare thing says you're approved, you still have to call eligibility Accessoride. So please make it clear to them so therefore they have it on their document.
Right.
That's the only thing we're trying to make it very clear because, and I'm glad, Matthew, you did bring that up as well as Audrey and the both of you. But I want to make it clear. If you don't have fair fares, your remain fare will still be $275. If you have the fair fares and you did let Accessoride know eligibility, number one priority, then the fare will go down to $1.35 for that person with a disability.
Except when you turn 65, they put you back to $2.75 because the fair fare program only goes up to the age 64. Do not blame the MTA. Do not blame Accessoride.
And not blame
Reggie. Do not blame Reggie. You need to make formal complaints through 311 and your local city elected officials, and make sure you make complaints to the mayor's office. If you feel it's also unfair, you can also contact MOPED, Mayor's Office of Persons with Disabilities. But the MTA, no part of the MTA is responsible for that. That is their separate, that program is from the New York City owner.
And thank you, Reggie.
I put the website for Fair's Fair because again it'll explain everything. Either call 311 or go onto that website and it'll provide you all the details on that program. It is through the city council that they did this. So MTA is only providing the card stock and in the future will provide the Omni stock for it, but we don't manage it at all. So everything goes through their accounts and things like that. Okay.
Synergeria, you guys had someone from your office had a question for me, and I think you did answer their question as well. Do you have an additional question for Reggie? Because I know you guys had some question marks.
No, we're good over here. Thank you. Reggie was very informative.
Thank you.
But please let them know that this is for all agencies. Remind yourselves, MTA has nothing to do with the fair fares.
Yeah.
Reggie gave you that information, so please, everyone, let's make sure everyone has that information. Also, just to add one thing for Reggie, because Reggie does, and I just want to make this clear for the reduced fare. Senior application is also available also, because I know I just got a question from Tex World. Yes, the answer to your question, and this is also for archery as well, and know that the senior reduced fare is available. And I apologize for the noise in the background. The application is also available for both. There is one for seniors and people with disabilities. Am I correct, Reg? You want to add?
That's it. Yes. For the senior application, it's for the right up there, up above. One more. Right there.
Right there. This is the senior one, and we're not going to explain because it's.
Now, the only thing that's changed is on page 1.
Yeah.
Is again, the three items that have been removed are the Social Security number, the MBI, the Medicare Beneficiary Identification Number, and the gender. Otherwise, the application is relatively the same. If you come to either 3 Stone Street or the mobile sales vehicle, the application you'll be assisted free of charge. You'll take a picture. We'll help provide you assistance with completing the application, and at the present you're receiving a temporary card on date of visit.
Yeah.
So that's what happens.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if the application no longer has to be notarized when it's mailed in, but photo identification has to be included, proving age when it's mailed in.
Yeah. Reg, before there is one thing you need. We do need agencies' help and everyone's help.
Okay.
For page 1, because as you know, we are going to be soon switching. We did mention about the update question.
Yes.
So go ahead.
The main thing about again, I mentioned it was the email is on page 1. The email is added because of future communications MTA will have with, I'm sorry, my staff is calling me from the field. There was some traffic issues, and some of the elected officials will call in to see where the vehicles were. But the email, sorry for the interruption, the email has been added so that MTA can provide direct information to the customers in the future. So that is the that is the update with the email. It's on both applications. Okay.
So just to share this piece, as Reggie mentioned, we are asking all agencies, if your individual does already have a reduced fare card, we're asking you to please ask them just to do page 1 only, their last name in case their address or city, or say, God forbid, their phone number changed, or they don't have an email. Please help them out to get an email. This will help a lot of families, individuals, seniors, and we don't know. Some of them might be in a group home that have a Metro card. This is another way you guys can control their Metro card. And you can, as Reggie mentioned, you can track where they've been on their cards. This is going to be easier in case of any issues. And as Reggie mentioned, so page 1 is available. Please print that out. If they don't want to change their picture, you can just leave that alone. But if they do, as Reggie will say, is what's that? You can actually always type it in. Like I could type it in here, but I'm not doing that here. But you do have options of mailing this with the picture, You could bring it to the vehicles. Am I correct, Reg?
Yes. We will assist you at the vehicles, and we'll also, if you do not have a photo, we'll take it free of charge for you.
So please make sure that, you know, if you don't have to, if you already know that you've been updated already, we thank you. But from now until we get ready to do the switch, asking everyone to please make sure, excuse me, I apologize, to please make sure that everyone is up to date on that. And that's including seniors as well. Anyone else have any questions? Anyone breathing? Well, Reg, I think you answered everyone's questions.
Thank you all. Thank you for having me, Chris.
No problem. But
You're always invited, Reggie. Anytime you want to do anything,
oh, wait a
just
minute.
let me
There is
know.
one person has a question, and she actually wrote it here. Vanessa Laco, do you have a question?
No, I did not have a question, but I did want to say that this is very exciting about this service. I'm happy to see its progression since I was part of it. So, not part of it, but I was part of the benefits of it from the Long Island Railroad standpoint and how it could help.
Right.
But I'm very excited to get more information on it, and hopefully maybe it'll facilitate some of you guys coming out to the Yaphank Farm yet again.
I believe so.
Yeah, you're so excited, Vanessa. Now, the only thing I have to say to you is, Vanessa, guess what time it is?
What time is it?
It's Omni time.
I'm ready for Omni time.
Yes. Oh, we got some questions already. Wow. All of a sudden, when Vanessa comes in, there's a question. I love this. Go ahead, Audrey. You can *6 yourself. Okay.
Alongside your yeah.
Go ahead, Audrey. Repeat that again.
Oh, I said, will there be a card, an Omni card, or it's only your cell phone? But
no, there will be a card. I have mentioned it. We already know Reggie mentioned there will be a reduced fare Omni card and a regular Omni card as well.
Okay. And then when can you access the actual card?
When it's,
is that something you?
Which one are we talking about? Please be more specific. Are we talking
to pay your fare, the Omni card, not the reduced fare, but, well, I know the reduced fare. They said maybe July of 2020 the reduced fare may be implemented. But I'm talking about the actual card to start using your fare, to start using Omni.
Right now, the only thing you can use, unless Reggie wants to back up with me, the card is not available yet, because once that card is available, the regular card will be available maybe this year. Stores are supposed to be scheduled for next year at this moment, but everything could go ahead of schedule. So I will say stay tuned for that, as well as stay tuned for the reduced fare Omni card.
Okay.
But right now, your bank cards can be used. You can use your cell phone device thing if you're using Google or Apple, which is available on the Omni website, as Reggie mentioned earlier. It will, make sure you can track everything you need to do.
Okay.
All right. And I hope I answered those questions.
Yes.
Mother's happy.
Okay. Does anyone else have a question for Reggie or Vanessa? Wait a minute. I caught someone. Okay. Jackie, say her last name, please. Tripoli. Chipotle. Are you there?
Chris.
Jackie. Yes?
I just wanted to just answer that one question about the Omni card.
Go ahead.
I'm looking at, according to the timeline,
yeah.
Later sometime, just saying projected sometime later this year, towards the latter part of this year, maybe into next year, that, like Chris said, it's going to be available in the stores. Mm-hmm. So that's when the actual card will come out for the full fare, accessible to everyone. Mm-hmm. But
thank you, Reggie, and I'm glad
you.
As I'm double checking. No, I don't have a question. Thank you. Okay, at least someone made it easy for me. Okay, so Reggie, it seems no one else has any questions, but in case you want to hear announcements, it might give you some ideas for the other end of the island. So, unless somebody has a question. So let me thank Reggie. And I'm going to go down, up and down. If you have an announcement, you can A, raise your hand, or please unmute and identify yourself, which Dolores has already raised her hand faster than a stealing bullet. But Dolores, before you do that, okay, Cindy Jerry, you'll be next. Let me get Dolores and Jackie, because they're both they're both the duos from Staten Island over the Valzano Bridge. Jackie, you still there too? Because I love the double team. You must be hiding from me. That's okay. I'm just joking. Go ahead, Dolores.
Okay, so my name is Doris Kahn, and I'm outreach coordinator for New York State Institute on Disability. And I want to go over the openings we have now. We have openings for psychological and psychosocial evaluations for individuals who are applying for OPWDD eligibility. They cannot have Medicaid. It's for individuals without Medicaid to get this service. To contact, if they're interested, to contact Elizabeth Sunshine at 917-699-0578 or email Elizabeth at esunshine@nysidinc.org. We also have openings in our crisis management program. You have to be OPWDD eligible, but you do not have to have Medicaid either. Contact Juliet Hawkins at 917-524-4856 or email jhawkins@nysidinc.org for additional information. Jackie, if you're there, I'd let her make announcements about our reimbursement services.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Okay.
And thank you, Doris, for everything. You know, you're just awesome. Thank you so much. We do have some funds available in Brooklyn for reimbursement for goods and services. We are also able to provide, when available, sports and recreation tickets. We are working very hard to try and find venues that are open and adhering to the CDC guidelines. We are also still offering transportation, and our transportation services, the car services we are using, are also adhering to CDC guidelines. And we are asking, anybody who's interested to please contact us. I know earlier Doris put in the chat box for our contact information. We're working remotely, we're in the office, but we do have a cell phone and email, and we respond rather quickly. And we're trying to get our applications processed really as quickly as possible. I do have to say, Angela Blades has been very helpful in making sure that anybody that's eligible for services has been, getting the services as quickly as they can. So we're working very hard, and we really would appreciate everybody getting the word out that we have services. We're also in the process of updating our application. I'm just waiting for the finalization from our executive director to release the new applications. There's just a few things that we've had to include where for in-office purposes and for the self-direction services, there's some questions that are coming up. So just be on the lookout for those. We'll be sending out those forms out, and even our sports and rec, because there are no more Staten Island Yankees. So we had to take that off our sports and rec, and we're doing what we can. So if anybody has questions or anything, please, please, please reach out. We're answering the cell phone, we're answering the emails. I even answer emails at like 1 o'clock in the morning when I get up, because, what else am I doing at 1 o'clock in the morning? So if anybody has questions, please just, reach out to us. We're here to help, and this is what we'd like to do.
Jackie, I have to second your emotion also about Angela Blades, because
Yeah, we both appreciate her, because she has asked us, and we have done what she's asked, to let that there are reimbursement funds out, and we appreciate that she tries to speed up the process. It is a very hard job. It's not her only job. So as chair of the advisory, we want to thank Angela Blades for all her assistance to the families in Brooklyn.
And since we don't have to clap like this, we can do this.
I'm doing this because the weather's hurting my hand.
That's another way of clapping.
So I'm clapping the way people who have hearing issues.
It's easier.
Just letting you know, I appreciate
And I
it.
think we all agree because thank God in Brooklyn right now, I already got a comment already saying, thank God Brooklyn knows how to answer return calls. So that's and
And we
that
thank
and
we
we
thank Angela and the whole Brooklyn DDRO for being very assisting the parents/family, and also the agency. So please.
Okay, with that being said, I appreciate all your accolades. Just send the emails to my supervisors to let them know how wonderful I am so I can get a raise like everybody else.
Oh, right.
Okay,
it's being noted because it's recorded.
let me just say this quickly as a follow-up to NICED being so nice to me. I appreciate it. Since July 1st, we are not allowing our agencies to keep on sending in emails. They have to send in original documentation for reimbursement. It is not fair that the reimbursement agencies have to try and print out all these applications when we're in a crisis. You should only be accepting original documentation, and if they send you an email, send it back and let them know, you can't process an email. It has to be original documentation. Also, I've noticed recently we've been getting a few ISS applications, and my understanding is family support does not support ISS because they're supposed to be living alone, so they're supposed to be able to budget for whatever they need, and their particular agency is supposed to assist them with their needs. As far as self-direction, you just need to ensure that whatever they're asking for is on their budget. Because, we don't know the budget offhand without having to go to the actual self-direction agency and get all that information. So once they submit that, just ask them to make sure that it's approved on their budget so it saves you some hard work also. What else? I think that's about it that I can think of right now. But again, I just need all of your agencies, not just you, NICED. Stop accepting emails. They have to send you original documentation. I mean, it's not like before when we couldn't go to the post office and drop stuff off. You have all rights to send it back.
I just want to clarify one thing, Angela.
Just to make sure we're correct.
Okay. Can the family email to say, example, NICED, I would like an application to be sent to me. Here is my home address. Is that acceptable?
Sending an application is not a problem.
Okay.
The problem is families and care managers tend to send in the whole application with the psychological, the level of care, the receipts, all of that to the agencies. The agencies cannot accept that. It has to be in the mail. It has to be a hard copy. If they want to drop them off, that's entirely up to them. But it's not fair that the agency who's representing the reimbursement has to keep printing all of this stuff. We're not doing that anymore.
I just wanted to clarify this. Thank you for clarifying it for me.
Yeah, I mean, I understand families have issues, but they can drop it in the post office and it'll get there eventually. You can email to say, I have sent my application and it will be coming in the mail. But it's unfair to expect the agencies to keep printing off all of this documentation because it's not usually just one page. It's 30 and 40 pages. Nobody can afford to print like they used to.
No, and what's helpful, if I can just add, is that if they are sending us the application in an email to review for us to look at, to say, oh, you know what, here's what you forgot, that's helpful. And we will gladly let them know that, if they forgot to answer the self-direction question, or they forgot, they didn't include a doctor's letter if they're asking for a bed bigger than a full-size bed. That's information that we can really cut to the chase and save some time.
Right.
So we don't discourage anybody sending us the email. We'll look at it, gladly review, but you'll get an email back from us saying that they need to submit and send in the originals.
Correct.
At NICED, we do go to the office on a daily basis to at least pick up the mail. and make sure that anything that we've received is there so that we have the originals. We must have the originals.
Okay,
And
that's good.
I like the way I'm hearing this right now. This is something I think, Angela, because this thought is really, really important. But no, I just want to add this because I think we need to make sure this is not just, should be brought also up in the February 24th general meeting, because we do get more agencies and we need to remind them.
Also, the care coordination
Coordinations on March
committee.
10th, which I think, Angela, I think would be a good idea by March 10th, that we ask, Angela, I think you would be a good speaker to explain. Yes. Yes, Angela, you can breathe, Angela, because this is because if we're seeing this problem from the three CCOs, and I don't know if it's 3, 2, or 1, I don't know.
And I'm not asking.
What I'm suggesting is you come in and explain this to them, because we need to make sure that families are not going to lose money, and they need to get their information in, because
Which meeting is this?
CCO,
the care coordination committee, used to be known.
I'm not usually part of that meeting.
I understand that.
We understand that.
You know what? We will discuss it at another time.
We can talk about this, later on in the next month.
It's just something you guys can bring up. I mean, that's fine, but I'm not really part of the CCO meeting, and I don't want to step on anybody's toes.
No problem.
You can just remind, when you're sending in applications, it has to be a hard copy, and it has to be in the mail. The agencies have the right to refuse an email and send it back, which takes the process much longer.
True.
Okay? So, you can bring it up. That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm allowed to talk at the meeting, then maybe. But right now, I've not even been invited to that meeting, so I don't want to.
I will make sure, I will talk to Rose Sal, and I will request as vice.
Oh, no, it's not even that. I have to be, my supervisors.
Yeah.
Right. I have to follow my chain of command. So, it's just something to bring up and just remind, agencies when they're submitting documentation to send the originals for anything now, because, the COVID, let me stop that. Part of the COVID pandemic part is not going to stop you going to the mailbox anymore.
Correct.
So they have to send original documentation until we get anything from Albany telling us different. The agencies have to have originals because that's what's mandated in their contract. Okay.
And people outside, as I said, as Al said this at the MTA piece, wear your mask. You go outside, check your mail. I have to wear a mask to make sure to protect myself. And I'm not doing this as a joke. I'm dead serious on this.
So that's I got 2 more minutes because I have a meeting in a minute.
Yeah, and we have
also I'm trying to schedule some meetings with agencies, just as a follow-up to see how everything's going because of the pandemic. So they'll be getting some emails from me shortly. And again, thank you for keeping up the good work. And I appreciate everybody. Stay warm, stay safe, wear your mask, wash your hands, and use the sanitizers. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Welcome, Angela. Now, Synergia, you're next, and Matthew, you're next.
Thank you. Joanna Santana, Family Support Coordinator at Synergia. Basically, to inform that we have openings for service coordination, assisting families with OPWDD eligibility process. And also we have funds for Brooklyn families for family reimbursement. We are contacting the CCOs. We are trying to letting them know that they can send the families to us and we can go with the process with them, just to avoid too many people in between and to avoid making the process longer. So we're offering that extra case management to the family so we can help them to gather the documents and really get the resources that they need at this point. So thank you so much for having me, and
you're
see
welcome.
you soon.
And if you have that information, can you please put that on the chat?
Absolutely. I'll put my email, so whoever needs to pass on my email or the coordinator of the program will be more than happy to answer any question.
Thank you very much.
Before I get to Matthew YEI, just want everyone to know, if you click on your chat before Angela you leave, this is something to help you as well. If you click on your chat box, you'll see on the bottom right there are 3 little dots, and it's going to say flashing more. Click on that, and then save your chat. You don't realize that you saving your chat. Once you disconnect your meeting, your chat thing will get an attachment, and you can check what information you got. So instead of you copying and pasting, you can use that as well. It has been upgraded onto the new Ring Central system, as well as Zoom has that now too. So it's on the bottom right, and you'll see it says more, and then you'll say save chat. That will means that whatever documents comes in, that chat will be saved all the way till the end of your end. Matthew from YAI, your hand was up.
Yes, Chris, Debbie, Angela,
Yes.
Hello,
Hello.
everyone.
Yeah.
So yes, I know Angela does have to go, so I want to get to her first. I do have a few questions. So remind us for the reimbursement, is it $500 per family per fiscal year or $500 per agency per fiscal year? Meaning, how many different agencies can a family hit up?
Matthew, we're in the process of reviewing that.
Mhm.
Right now, Brooklyn, I can only speak for Brooklyn, families have been able to shop around for different items at different agencies.
Uh-huh.
That may change
Okay.
to be compliant with the rest of the boroughs.
Okay.
And again, it's going to be on a case-by-case basis. And please remember that all Brooklyn reimbursements come to me first before being approved. So if I see the same item from your agency and another agency, it will be disallowed.
Okay, great.
But
Good.
most of the maximums are $500, and it's up to. It does not mean to say that every family is going to get $500. It's
Right.
up to.
Okay.
We are not providing funds for respite unless it's an emergency basis, and I know it's a big to-do,
Yep.
but it's been something that they're looking at. So it's only on an emergency basis right now.
Okay.
And that is going to be reviewed by the supervisors. It's not going to be just me saying yes or no.
Right.
It's going up above the chain to make sure that it's, approved. And 90% of them are basically for if the caregiver is hospitalized or has a valid emergency.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, having to have someone take care of the individual because you have to go to work because you're an essential worker because of COVID is not covering it.
Okay, that's really good to know. So I will relay that back to my team.
Yeah, and again, all of the reimbursements and the contracts are being updated. We have been talking to the upper management about things that we think are important.
Okay.
So if you have something you need to specific, just email me so I can forward it on to get answers that you need. But
Sure
right
thing.
now, reimbursements are up to $500, and it really depends on what the item is, if it's approved.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
In the same line, YAI does have Brooklyn reimbursements. So please reach out to the link department to, get the applications for that. And I've added on the chat, I've added the link number and link email. Additionally, we do still have evaluation grants for Brooklyn families who don't have Medicaid. So please also, have the families and reach out to link for that information. And we also have our 5 clinic sites throughout, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, and Bronx. We still are offering the COVID testing. So just call the scheduling department. I've added that number to the chat. We do the rapid, the PCR, and the antibody testing. And I do believe that the mayor actually authorized anyone under OP, like under DD sites, are eligible for the vaccines. I think that just happened today.
That was the governor.
Oh, it was the governor? Okay.
Governor has to make that answer was the governor yesterday. The mayor's just passing that word.
Okay. So
Yeah,
now,
we statewide parents made us think about it.
so that is in effect as of like today. Anyone associated with a DD program agency is now able to get the vaccine.
It depends. It's that you need to check with the OP. OPLD is supposed to be saying that information in the
They're
next.
waiting for the guidelines.
Waiting for certain guidelines because OPWD needs to make sure the guidelines are correct. Because remember, in city and once you're in the city area, it's a area that they have to clarify and want to make sure the right information goes out. There's been too many bad rumors going around, and right now there's more details should be coming in soon for all OPWDD, and that's including family support coordinators will be getting.
Okay.
If they don't, they still and that information still has to be shared.
We'll make sure it's shared.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. My last question is actually to Nick. Is PHP able to do Medicaid only cases yet, or does it still have to be dual eligibility with Medicare?
Yeah, at this point, it's still the dual eligibles. There might be some changes coming up midway through 2021, but I'm not positive of that.
Okay.
But
Are you a good point person to point to families, or is there like a better number, a better?
No, that would be me, or I'm one of the outreach associates involved with that. I will post my information in the chat for everyone. My phone number is 646-771-3184. But like I said, I'll post it in the chat.
Yep.
We're continuing to enroll people, and we have about 2 meetings a month for virtual information sessions if you want to find out more in a visual presentation.
Yeah. Definitely. I'll email you.
Okay. All right.
Okay, yeah. So I'll email you for any other PHP related questions.
Sure. Sounds great.
I'm done. Thank you, Chris.
Welcome, Matthew.
You're welcome, Matthew.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any? Nick, since you're off the mute right now, don't mute. Do you have any announcements?
We have an information session actually tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And in my message, I will post the link to that and future information sessions, virtual, that we're doing online.
Okay, don't hang up. Don't mute.
And that's really it. We could explain how we continue to advocate enrolling people in this trying time, and how we can be a benefit to people, and we can explain that further.
Also, have you been able to make any contact with the Health and Hospitals Corporation to make sure that they eventually will accept PHP, because a lot of families, their children do go to their sites across the 5 boroughs. Have you guys made any contact with the main HHC hospital corporation at 125 Worth?
Yeah, you had asked this at the last meeting.
Yes.
And I did follow up. Unfortunately, they are still declining to contract with us at this point in time. So they're not coming into us on our plan at this point in time.
They didn't give any.
Duly noted.
That is, we've done some research outreach, I should say, to them about coming onto our plan, and so far they've said no.
I figured they would, but that's all right. There's other ways of getting them.
Yeah, I'll say that noted.
We're noting that.
So maybe when we get the Medicaid only line coming out and there's more members.
You should keep both, because honestly, they're doing this again, and then they wonder why families, and they have developmental centers, one in each borough, except Staten Island. So they need to really, they're not looking at the full picture. So there are many ways of going to see that they start working with you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
Okay.
we'll talk another time.
Okay.
Okay, Chris, let me just one sec. I just want to thank everybody, and please be safe, stay warm, and I have another meeting to go to, so I just wanted to say goodbye to everybody.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Welcome. Stay well. And
all right, bye-bye.
Thank you for your help. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Angela.
Okay. I'm gonna look at who I forgot her name. What's that name about?
Darlene E.
Darlene E. Are you still with us? Just need to unmute yourself. There you go. Darlene? Hello?
Could be another one too.
Yeah. That's okay.
All right.
All right. Since we're all finished with our announcements, remind everyone, Children's Committee is next Wednesday. We will discuss about the Children's Committee. Will be discussing, that's Teresa's meeting. That will be discussing about the update. I will share my screen again just to make sure everyone has this down. And I will just keep it this way, so therefore it will remind people. I'd say repeat this again, and I'll go here. Children's Committee is next week. The code is actually the same code that you're on today. Teresa is the not just the principal, but the chair of that committee. Get to know your neighborhood coordinators for the NYPD. That abbreviation will be NCO. That will be a really good presentation. Doesn't matter which borough you're from. It will have all the information, including local precincts, housing precincts, and transit precincts as well. So next week will be a really good presentation. We hope to have NYPD. If not, we have a plan B on that. And remind everyone that and I just want to remind everyone there is no transition meeting because it's school vacation. But remind everyone, Wednesday, the 24th, is our general joint meeting on the 4th Wednesday. Winnie will discuss more updates about the budget. I will say right now we need to watch, and please remind your families, agencies also work together. We need to remind our state officials as well as our federal to make sure the budget still holds in for people with disability and other issues, as well as transportation as well. And I remind everyone again, the next the advisory is going to do their ceremony on Tuesday the 16th. As the website will be back on with some new stuff, and I hope everyone gets all that detail. Now, before you all leave, I remind you again, I will say this again, on your chat, you can save your chats on your screen. It's on the bottom right. Please click on your chat first. When you see it says to everyone, or it doesn't matter if you have a name already on it, go on to all the way to the right where everyone is. Click on more, click on save your chat, and it will say, it will show it was in a folder. It means your chat is saved and it's rerouted into a folder. It means every document information you saw today is there. Just like Nick just put in information, you can make sure it's safe again. So if anyone doesn't have any other questions, comments, anything they want to add, say your piece, I am going to say, please enjoy your afternoon. See everyone our next signing episodes. No, just kidding.
We'll see everybody soon. Everyone, please stay safe.
Have a good weekend. Enjoy your Super Bowl weekend. And make sure you do not drink too much, please. And remind everyone, please, guys, I swear to God, I'm going to say this every time. Wear a mask. Even Reggie's going to say it. Right, Reg?
See?
And he's just shaking his head.
Wear a mask. Wear a mask, yes.
I also want to thank both our speakers, Vanessa Lupkin.
She left.
I know she left, but Reggie, thank you again. You always come through when we need you.
Have a great afternoon, everyone. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Matthew.